Point it out here so Sue can have that small.
Yeah. Okay, Commissioners' meeting's back in the regular session, and there was no decisions made in executive session. And Sue, did you have some stuff for us?
I have an estimate for the tree trimming.
Okay.
This is from Able Tree Service. Leonard Barnes, he has a satellite office for Able Tree Service here in town in St. Francis.
Who does?
Leonard Barnes. So the equipment is right here in this behind Jeff. And had him do work, both of them, and I've had Able do work for me for years. So Leonard walked the site and looked at it and what trees needed to be really cleaned up, trimmed, dead taken out. And then he had Roy come up, and Roy walked the site as well. And this is their estimate. It's the minimum, well, there's 22 trees that need clean trimming and a dead tree that needs to be taken out. And Joe says there's actually maybe 2 dead trees, but 28 hours is the minimum. It would be 7,000, and 32 and a half hours is the maximum. They will go over, won't go over 81.25. So this is just the original, and it actually says on which, you can look at the original there, which side, east, west side, what they're doing. And I walked it with them as well, and there are some trees that, you know, just need some massive cleaning up if they're to maintain their health, otherwise we're going to lose them. And the PBC met on this, and the PBC members were supportive of doing this, but they felt it was a maintenance issue and that the county commissioners need to approve payment for it from whatever fund, I don't know you use for maintenance, but rather than PBC funds. So
Have 2 estimates.
We have to have at least 2 estimates
okay,
to make a comparison.
okay. Who else do I get an estimate from?
I'd contact the city hall to see who's licensed
Okay,
to do that. And
Okay.
they give you names.
okay. That sounds
That way,
good.
according to county policy, we will need to take bids for it. And then we'll discuss the bid and
Fine.
award it at that time.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
We do have gotten, you probably saw the scouts planted, we have planted 32 trees. 12 of them are windbreaks, and we have 11 set aside and trenched in. Leonard came up and he volunteered and cut all the holes for the kids to do, and he did a trench, and we trenched in 11 to be around the assisted living facility for when it's completed. And we walked them through the conservation district, so
Okay.
that's what they referred to as, definitely referred to as the work that's actually been done and stuff.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm assuming you're Vicki.
I am Vicki.
All right.
Ready for me?
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am. Sorry we're running a little late.
No, you're fine. Actually, that worked out well because now we have the sheriff. So that's awesome when you can go places and bring the sheriff.
That's like my opinion counts for something.
We know better, don't we?
No, it's always good when you have that behind you or in front of you or whatever. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for your time. I am Vicki Hubin. I do work with the Western Kansas County Advocacy Center. We are the people who work with physically and sexually abused children. You guys have heard my spiel before. We do cover 32 counties. York County is still one of the counties that we cover. We could not continue to do what we do to bring the help and support of our victims and survivors without the help and support of our county commissioners and our city council. So first of all, let me say thank you for that before we get started. Again, we come up with our mobile units, we provide the forensic interviews, we provide the advocacy, which is probably one of the biggest things that we provide. We give those children a voice not only against a perpetrator, a voice in court, hopefully a voice to heal. I know we have a therapist that lives in Colby. She is in your community once every other week seeing survivors. I know that's a fact. She parks over here at the park. It's probably right over by this window. Anyway, so So we do provide services in your community. Several years ago, about 5 years ago, we talked about Jerry Sandusky and how we had got some money together, and we had Matthew Sandusky, one of the adopted sons and a victim of Jerry Sandusky, come and speak. When that happened, we were investigating 5 coach cases in western Kansas. This year, of course, we're talking about Larry Nassar. If you don't know who Larry Nassar is, you've got your head in the sand. Larry Nassar was the USA Gymnastics doctor. Victimized thousands of kids. Hundreds of kids with parents in the room. A lot of times, I'm not sure, Cody can vouch for this as well, a lot of times parents, perpetrator is in the home, maybe the non-offending caregiver doesn't understand. People in the community don't understand, how did that happen without them knowing? Well, here Larry Nassar is victimizing hundreds and hundreds of kids with parents in the room. It happens. I'm here to tell you that it absolutely does. We're not only taking money out of your communities, we also are helping ourselves as well. We have several fundraisers. We have a group of ladies who do the Colby Casino Night. They raise about $50,000 a year for us. That's been an amazing, amazing event. We also have another event called 100 Women, which also has been an amazing event. Diamonds and Champagne is kind of our signature thing. This year we came up with a new idea, and it was fabulous, by the way, Cody. We gave away a Jeep. So your local law enforcement jumped in, helped us sell tickets, which was amazing. We raised about $101,000 on that Jeep thing. So it was phenomenal. So I want you guys to know that we're not only here asking for money, we also are trying to help ourselves. Grants are going away, you never know. In fact, we have a JAG grant right now that's frozen. Hopefully it's about the sanctuary cities, and hopefully it will become unfrozen, because that's our grant for our forensic interviewers and our advocates. So that will be a dreadful thing for our program. We'll have to figure out another way, because we will not let that stop us at all. Last year in your community, we had 19 cases. So again, people like to think this doesn't happen in their community, and it does. However, that's a tribute to your local law enforcement, to the sheriff and his department. Because, you know, they understand that I hate to say you need us, but you do. Because for you to be able to send an officer to the amount of training that we have would be so cost prohibitive. You would not be able to do it. Where we come in, we do we're the experts when it comes to the forensic interviewing, to the advocacy piece. These guys, they want to start their investigation immediately, because the quicker they get on it, the quicker that perp is picked up. So it's kind of, we work as a team effort, and it just absolutely works. If we were billing your county for our services, it would be about $30,400. So again, we're not to that point yet, because we try to help ourselves. You guys still continue to donate and support. Your local sheriff's office helps with the Jeep, that kind of stuff. You guys did support us last year with $4,000, and we do appreciate that. We appreciate that increase very, very much. So you guys have any questions for me or the sheriff?
No, but just to kind of assure you, the closer we get to budget time, which is coming right up, I think we fully intend to
Perfect.
support again, because we're fathers, grandfathers.
Yes, absolutely. And it happens in your community.
Sure.
You know, it absolutely does. So thank you very much. One more thing that I need. This is the notice and waiver. You guys signed this all last year. Years past with the grants, we've always had the Sheriff's Department, the county attorney sign. As grants come about, the grant people and the powers that be say, we're going to change the rules. You know, you guys know how that goes. So now they want the commissioners to sign. Basically, this is just a notice and waiver that says you're not obligated to anything. It just says that the Western Kansas Child Advocacy Center can apply for this grant. This is our forensic interviewing grant. Your local law enforcement does not apply for this grant, so it means nothing. It just needs to go on your letterhead and then sign it, and then send it to the Scott City address if you would. So, Cody, you want to hop in here? Did I miss anything?
No.
Just for information, how many
Yes.
advocacy groups are there in the state of Kansas?
There are 17
17.
in the state of Kansas, and we actually right now have 6 of the nationally accredited child advocacy centers. So we kind of take care of most of the state. We do.
So some of them, like you get down in the Kansas City area, they might have just one county has one.
Yeah, they do.
Have
In
their
fact,
own.
Topeka is Shawnee County. They have one child advocacy
child,
center. And they don't have mobile units, so no matter where you are in Shawnee County, you have to go to the center. You have to go to the Child Advocacy Center, where we really do have a luxury, where we can get in our mobile unit and we can come. It helps victims and families. It helps people not take off work. It just helps. It just helps. The only services that victims and families can help or get help by are the services that they can receive. Well, if they're going 3 hours to a service,
Right.
I'm sure there's going to be some discussion about how important is this, or we can take care of it or whatever, when that's obviously not the case. Plus, then the perpetrator's running wild to perp on somebody else. So, when I first started at the center 8 years ago, we had 4 employees, and we now have 18. So,
That's a sad sign. but-
yes, it is. It is. It is. I think it's awareness. I think Larry Nasser, I think Jerry Sandusky, I think they're bringing to light child sexual abuse. I think it's always been here. I think it's just a matter of awareness that if this is happening to me, I need to tell somebody because this isn't right. And where before, people have said, oh, don't tell anybody. And there's a lot of guilt and shame and that society places on our victims, which isn't at all possible.
Now, were you in here when she was saying what we needed to do with this?
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, you're fine. It just needs to go on your letterhead and then
Okay.
have the commissioner sign and then send to the Scott City address.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great. That's just the JAG grant for the forensic interviewing that Cody and his department do not apply for anyway, so
Okay.
it doesn't matter. But
All right, well, we appreciate all the hard work and the efforts, and we're saddened by the fact that you're needed.
yes,
But-
it's true. We saw 556 kids last year. So lots and lots of kids need our help. They do. So thank you guys for your time very much.
Thank
Sheriff,
you.
thank you for coming. Oh, were you going to grab something, say something?
No, I was just gonna say, as always, I've always fully supported the CAC,
Oh, yeah.
appreciate it. And I'm full support of it.
Well,
Again, it is sad.
Yeah.
We're glad we're here, though.
Yeah.
And really, we do a great service for our victims and families. We're still seeing a family for 7 years after the fact for therapy every other week, just because it was a family and dad was the perpetrator and there were 4 girls involved and lots of therapy. And again, all of our services are at no cost to victims and families. So it just takes a lot. Takes a team.
There's other locals that help with it, I know, Skip and Betty Peterson.
Absolutely, they do. They actually do our auction for our diamonds and
They,
champagne.
Skip made a comment that it's a very good
Yes.
cause.
Yes. And we say what we're going to, we do what we say we're going to do. We do help those families. So, you guys, thank you again so much for your
Okay.
help. We appreciate your time.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
thank you for your support. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Out and about, in those buildings out and down.
Not yet.
Greg called me and said, cracks went up. I've not been down there to check it yet, but Lloyd rented down. I said,
Yeah.
yeah, they were up there. Yeah, they were in that building.
Yeah. No, we haven't made any arrests yet.
Okay.
But if you were being yet.
All right, I'll do that.
See you guys.
Reed had a family emergency here.
Something found there, Greg? Said he won't be here, won't. You can calm down.
will not. Good day.
Morning, dude.
Morning.
We just well, he's last.
We're ready for you now.
Ready. Timed out just right. Huh?
Well, we were going to take a short break, but
Well, you go ahead.
now we're good.
Or you start selling that asphalt that's crushed out of landfill.
There's a few have been calling on it anyway.
Well, a guy asked me, I said, I don't know to call you, so
Yeah, eight for it, 15 for the concrete.
18 for the asphalt.
8
Oh,
for
8.
the asphalt.
That's a yard or a ton.
Ton.
Okay. Well, basically about the same thing, because it's like, what, 22.50 a yard weight.
Oh, it'd probably be higher than that.
Sand's only 22.50, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's liable to be anymore.
Because of the contents in it, and I'd think it'd be a little higher. You're saying it's closer to 27 to 32, depending on moisture.
You're thinking, all right.
Yeah. All right, one thing different on this, we did buy some brome hay and had rented a processor in order to get this ditch seeded. This is what we call by the old Tommy Herring place. You know, last year we kind of took the banks down, and this year we went and elevated it, and just through the winter we had cleaned out the culvert and it had already sand drifted it shut, so we kind of wanted to get something on that. So we bought some seed, blowed some seed out there, and then, like I say, got some brome hay and put it out there, so that should improve that sandy area.
Did that processor work pretty good, spread it?
Worked very well. We did that quite a lot. In fact, that's the way them custom guys do, you know.
It's a
They cut,
processor?
yeah.
I'll be darned, I figured they had something, it was a chopper and kind of blew it out there.
Nope, that's what they're using them for motor spreaders, so. Yeah, we did that several times on projects. Works good, so. Other than we've always used straw, but we could get this brome hay, we thought that'd be better, so.
Did you have a straight disc that you kind of,
We normally would sheet foot it in, but we thought we would disturb it more up there, so we left it alone. We added that white paper, you know, or shredded paper and some of that mulch from the landfill when we did the hydro seeder, because there was heaping up banks when we threw that out there, so we left that alone there. As far as work, Bladen Roads, some graveling over there south of Bird City, and then a lot of it up by the plant site, you know. We got that all cleaned up, all finished up that direction, so. You know, you was in yesterday, wanting to know about them 40-mile-an-hour signs. I got them, I need to dig it up, you want me to, but we had Dr. Tom Molinazzi with KU Engineer do a study, and we give him measurements and everything, and he told us where to place these signs. That's the reason we did that route, so.
Well, the particular resident there, and I can see her concern, you know, they're pulling into that blind hill, and then plus the cemetery road. It's just so hard to look back to the east, especially with that gas equipment there. And it was just a question, and the only thing I assured him is I'd pass it along, and we'll find out.
Yeah.
That is dangerous.
It is. Well, there's a couple of Vandals Drive and the Rolfs Drive, and then the Cemetery Road are all kind of subject to that. And there is the 45 sign is just west of the Cemetery Road, the actual speed limit.
No, the 40-mile-an-hour is east.
But it's not an official sign, is it? Doesn't it say?
It should say 40-mile-an-hour
It says
ahead.
40 mile an hour.
Does it?
Yeah, it's just pretty much right at, well, pretty close to some.
It's like 200 yards east.
Yeah, I know which sign you're talking about, but I drove by there and.
But if you slow down to the 40, which seldom they do, is the
Yeah.
problem, and then it's a surprise to them. So,
Is there any way to move that one sign further east by any chance?
you shouldn't according to the studies.
Engineer.
So,
Okay.
What they need is a traffic entering highway sign right there. That way we don't have any liability, because you know they're not gonna run 40.
and what are you saying? Should have what?
Have a sign that says traffic entering highway or something, you know, one of them signs.
Intersection
Well,
type sign.
Well,
we used to have a school bus sign there. When they quit having the school bus stop there, we took it down. So, I mean, that's possible.
I don't think you're ever gonna get it.
I don't think so
Unless you
either.
have a sheriff sitting
Well,
out.
There's some close calls there, but I still think it's enough that If they're driving at 40, it's safe
If
enough
they're
to
driving
get-
at 40, that's the
But-
whole key.
Yeah, so,
That's the whole key.
and you can't correct everybody's driving habits, so.
Yeah. Well, there was mentioned east-west stop signs. I don't know, that's a little too far out there, but
Yeah.
anyway, I assured him I would at least, bring it up and get some answers, and yes or no either way.
Yeah, that's what we did when we signed that, so.
Okay.
I got employee applications, 15 minutes for that. We'll call executive session, so
15 minutes.
15, please.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye.
We just started on the solid waste from the turf maker. Barry went out.
Moisture getting into them.
Well, I thought that's kind of, I did the same price.